You must be worn out. You're coming down with a bit of a fever. Take this. It should make you feel better.
It all seems so far away now. We're heading towards Baikonur Space Base near Moscow. Marlene decided we should stay out of the city to avoid contact with the Blue. We've been walking these highlands for days. All this nature. I've never seen anything so beautiful.
What's wrong with you? Are you still mad about Soul? Those people were doomed long before we found them. You must have realized that by now.
I promised Jung that we would save her, and now she's dead because of us.
Why keep tormenting yourself? You know there's nothing you could have done to save that girl. You and I made it out alive. That's enough.
That's enough? I get it. As long as I'm alive, you're happy because you still got your precious sample, and this is just a mission, isn't it? Well, what about Joey and Robert? You saw your own people die right in front of you! How can you think nothing of it? Huh?
Under the circumstances, I did the best I could. Loss of life is sometimes unavoidable. Acceptable during any military operation. The dead never come home, so get used to it. And don't get hung up on the past. Now pull yourself together and let's move out. If we don't reach Baikonur by our deadline, we're going to be left behind too.
I don't understand how you can accept all of this so easily. Stop hiding behind your uniform and talk to me! Just admit it! You were in love with Joey, weren't you?
In love?
I mean, otherwise, you two wouldn't have... I saw you two the other night. He had his hands all over you.
So what about it? Joey and I needed each other that night, that's all. What you saw was no big deal. There was nothing between the two of us.
But that would mean that you and Joey were just...
Listen, I could be dead by tomorrow, or maybe seconds from now. There's just no way of knowing. What is so wrong with trying to feel alive while you still can?
Well, that's...
Don't allow your old values to confuse you. You're living in a very different time now.
Hey! What are you...
Sit tight. The temperature's gonna drop fast overnight. Unless you want to die, you'll stay where you are. I told you to stay put. Please don't make this any more difficult than it is. I'm as worn out as you are. What is so wrong with trying to feel alive while you still can? Listen, I could be dead by tomorrow, or maybe seconds from now. There's just no way of knowing.
'Cause when you're asleep, the monsters can't get you.
My God!
We don't know when the disease will manifest itself.
Just you and me. We'll get away from here.
There's something different about you.
Anyhow, you'll be asleep for 10 or 20 years, right?
Saving you? You've got it all wrong. You just happen to be one of the samples we recovered. Nothing more than that. Until then, you stay alive.
Eugene, do you remember that song? Makes me think of you.
The dead never come home, so get used to it.
You would have rather died
You're living in a very different time now.
It's just a nightmare. And I'm still alive. Marlene! 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 Are you okay?
I guess I owe you one for saving my life.
Forget it. You would have done the same thing for me. You don't owe me anything. You know, I'm trying to understand this world. I know, these days everyone seems to look after themselves. This may sound strange to you, but back in my day, it was the men who looked after the women.
Women? What do you mean?
I mean, all I'm trying to say is I'm going to survive in this world, but I've got to do it my way. That okay with you? Well, let's go. If we dawdle around, we'll be abandoned, right? Come on. Look at that. It's so beautiful. Before I went into sleep treatment, I made a pact with a friend of mine. When I got cured, the two of us were going to go traveling together. My friend's name was Takashi. Anyway, I don't suppose he ever thought I'd end up in a place like this, huh? I wish I could have shown this to him. Hold on. What if he was one of the lucky ones who got off the planet and made it to Second Earth? He could still be alive out there waiting for me. Maybe. That's possible, isn't it? He might still be alive? Marlene?
Yuji, I don't think so. Less than 100 million people made it into the space station, so the chance of your friend... I'm sorry. Only those of the highest intelligence and physical ability were able to go to Second Earth. They were our best hope. By some chance, I was placed on the selection list and picked up by a rescue squad. I'm not sure how it happened. I was only a child. I must have been maybe 10 years old. During the first wave of attacks, I somehow got separated from my family. I later learned they had been killed by the Blue. I don't have many memories from that time, but there are some things that I will never forget. Like the blazing fires, the smell of burning flesh. When the Blue first started to appear, I don't think anyone considered them a serious threat. They were nothing more than insects, pests that needed to be wiped out. But the reality of it all hit us hard. The Blue just kept coming and coming. Mankind tried using every conceivable modern weapon against them, and by their own hand enveloped the earth in crimson flames. That's why, when I see a view like this, all I see is a sad, scorched planet. It was there on Second Earth where I learned how to be a pilot. I still remember how the training facility reeked of grease and oil. I was a good student. I proudly demonstrated my hatred of the blue to my superiors. I learned how to operate the armor shrines. I was at the top of my class in marksmanship. And I became an expert in hand-to-hand combat. Then there were the mission simulations. I was taught everything I would need to know to survive on Earth. Yes. Every imaginable thing.
Don't get so upset. It's a ritual, for good luck. Thanks to you, now when I run into those blue down on the battlefield, it's a guarantee I'm gonna make it back alive.
Alive. Make it back alive.
Marlene?
You still want to go with me?
Yeah, of course I do. After all we've been through, we have to stick together. I think you and I should just forget about the past. I'll tell you what, let's start from scratch and make a new beginning. Here's to the two of us getting to Second Earth. Alive.
Alive. It's a deal. We'll make it. Alive.
Hey, Marlene! Hey, wait up! Marlene!
Even if there were days when I smiled a lot, should turn out to be nothing but a lovely dream, that would be alright with me, if that's all it means. My mind's unrest, struggling with me, recalling the past, who I could be. Gotta rise and be strong, gotta be tough but not lose the person I am. Two lives I have, one life I live, one life I dream. In dreams I remember the better in me. Vision don't let me down. I'm depending on you, carry me through when I see reality.
This is a restricted area. What are you doing here? What's your unit and rank? Come on, speak up! How did you get here and what are you doing? Let's hear it! You've got some explaining to do and I want answers right now. I don't trust anyone who's out in the desert alone. I won't hesitate to shoot if I have to, so don't push me.